Okay. This episode is brought to you by our patron supporters. Today's patron of the day is Ashley Ray. Patrons get the show always ad-free and access to the extended episode with bonus content. If you don't want to miss all of that, go to patreon.com/calltheline.
Plus this weekend.
.com/calltheline. Let me say it twice.
I just wanted to say something once, though.
Say something. I know, and you never really get to speak up, so I'm glad that you're taking some agency in this.
Interrupts me. This weekend, BlankCon Online Live featuring Aaron Raw, Jimmy Snow, and Eric of Skeptics and Scoundrels. That's the thing that you could be at. Are you gonna do it? Do it. Patreon.com/calltheline. Run that friggin' intro. Yeah. Hi, everybody. Welcome. It is January 30th, and if you're listening to this, hopefully you're also participating in the nationwide strike, as today is a don't go to work, don't go to school, don't buy stuff. It's a strike. Now, ironically, I have a doctor's appointment. Made it a long time ago, and it's one of those things that you'd want to move, but literally I've been waiting on this doctor's appointment for 8 months, and I can't. It'd be like another several months if I moved it.
I mean, does that count as not participating in the strike, going to a doctor's appointment?
You're not supposed to do anything like that you could skip out on. They're not asking anybody to not go to doctor's appointments, honestly, unless it was easy to move. So it is. Yeah. It's like a nothing mandatory. So no, I wish I didn't have to, but I do. We may, depending on how that all turns out during the day, there might be a live stream where we make all the money go to a charity. So if people do want to choose stuff to pass the time, they can at least do it somewhere where YouTube's not making money off of it the way they usually would.
Right.
And 100% of the proceeds go to some charity. We'll probably do something like that. We'll probably have a little fun skis, a little fun skis, motherfuckers. Fun skis, goddamn. And I've always said that. Yeah. It's still where doing these shows kind of suck. I'd rather fight people and stuff. There is, I think what we start with is some information that's come out, a narrative that is trying to shift from the right, and people on, we'll say, the center and the left and the actual left misrepresent or being a little too overcorrective when it comes to their belief that something is AI. So let's start there. There is a video now from 11 days prior to the shooting of Alex Pretti, where Alex Pretti, it would appear is Alex Pretti anyway. It has been verified that he is the individual by his family, that seems to be the individual in the video. But 11 days prior to his being shot, he got in another confrontation with ICE. There is some information that he may have been pretty injured by it, but that hasn't yet been verified, whether his ribs got broken. But something we don't know what is happening prior to the altercation. Alex Pretti never assaults an officer, never hits an officer. He only hits a car. And there's something very important that you people need to understand.
Like with his hand?
Kicks the taillight off. Okay. And guys, just so you know, and this is going to be hard for some of you to hear, cars aren't people. And an individual kicking your taillight does not pose risk to life 11 days later.
Right.
That's not how that works. Now, there's a lot of people who have been and I waited for verification to say for sure, but all I know is all day on Wednesday, when I first started seeing this video pop up, and everybody's like, this is such obvious, clear, AI slop. It's such lazy AI. And I kept watching it and being like, guys, I think it might not be AI. And one of the things a lot of people would point out, well, how come you can see the text of the model of the truck in this one, but then after it gets obscured and he kicks the thing off, you don't see it anymore? And there's two possible reasons. One, those things come off and it's right next to the thing he kicked off. Or two, the car is also further away And video artifacting and compression does eliminate detail. Like that's,
Yeah.
I've been a photographer for, Jesus Christ, I'm getting old, a long time now. And like, that's how compression works. And so it could be just compression because the letters already kind of blend where you're basically getting pixels merging with each other because it's not important detail at that resolution and the bit rate that the video is shooting at. Or it also fell off, but that part wasn't. And so people were saying it's obvious. Well, unfortunately, people, there's now a second angle. And you guys need to get better at identifying AI, like videos that are over 15 seconds, that the details remain pretty consistent and aren't just compression artifacting, are rarely AI. It's pretty hard to make good AI videos that look that close anyway. So look, here's the deal. That video is real. The videos now are real of Alex Pretti having this confrontation, showing that he is clearly he is hostile in some way toward ICE. And guess what? Cool. Like literally, that should be our response to this. Like, oh, you didn't tell me you executed a badass.
Right.
Like,
it also like no shit, he's not happy with what's going on. And it would be weird if the first time you ever heard him resist ICE or this administration was in that very moment. Like, not weird, but that would be more unusual than to have other examples of him already saying he does not approve of the situation.
Remember, the initial narrative was that he went to that with an intention to massacre agents with his gun.
Right.
That's the original from Kirsty Noem's mouth to your ears narrative. That has obviously never been true. And clearly he's had multiple occasions. If he wished to see that kind of event occur, he could have done it. You guys are literally just so full of shit. Look, do I wish he hadn't kicked the car? Only because I would tell other people not to kick the car because the car, that might just get you arrested. Like it's not, if of the things worth getting arrested for and tried and having a record or whatever, kicking the car wouldn't be the thing to go and do. That's like, otherwise it's a car. Its feelings are fine. It'll get over it.
Right.
And so people are the absolute insanity now. On Twitter and on Threads showing like, hey guys, this is it. This changes things. No, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
It literally changes nothing. There is nothing about that video that goes, oh, well, now I see why he deserved to die. And the worst part is now some people are literally posting, actually, he literally the words deserve to die. I said what I said. Say less. Say nothing. Shut the fuck up.
I even saw on Threads someone say that there's a video of Alex Pretti spitting on someone. Spitting on an ICE
that's in
agent.
The video where he kicks
It's in
the
that
truck.
same video?
Well, the guy gets in. It's not clear he actually hits an agent. The guy gets in the truck. Can't even remember if it's after or before the door shuts. But yeah, he spits either at the agent or at the car. These guys who, you know, lucky for them, are covered head to toe by multiple layers. So he's fine. And
also, regular law enforcement is not supposed to be killing someone for breaking the law.
Right.
Alex Pretti didn't break the law and they killed him.
Yep.
So it's just like they will grasp at any straw to justify the murder of this young man because it looks really bad, because it is really bad.
Yes, you murdered a guy.
You murdered someone.
You absolutely murdered a guy. It's funny too, if ever there's a repeat offender, like somebody who got so much as a speeding ticket who murders somebody, people are like, this is Democrats' fault for not arresting. Well, if we're going to pull that guy should have been in prison. Can't we just pull the same thing? Why didn't Republicans, this guy clearly vandalized that truck? Why didn't you lock him up? Now it's your fault, because that's literally like the fucking the logic you guys like to use. The whole thing is stupid. Everything is stupid. These people are stupid. And I really, really just wish the worst for them. Also, I do feel we are ignoring the fact that, like, why are we never talking about I know I have like one note, but like this is Christianity's fault, guys. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but the absolute
you being
not
like,
caring.
I know I only have one note, but that is the truth. Like, that is the truth. I'm tired of talking about it. It's like, you know how you see those videos where it's like,
I'm tired of not talking about it.
You're what?
The Christianity part, I mean.
Oh, no, I mean, just so I see these videos that are coming up now on my reels and on my TikTok, and it's like, quote, I miss when you weren't so political. Me too. I wish I didn't know that everyone was like a fucking idiot. Like, whatever, however they phrase it. But it's like, I wish you were not so political. When I'm thinking of posting content, all I can think of is what else am I supposed to talk about except how Christian nationalism is ruining this country, about how Republicans are ruining this country, how we have ICE agents who are murdering people, and then we have other people who are like, and it's probably like, what am I supposed to say? Anyway, I cut you off about Christianity.
Well, the Christianity of it all is this, like, people want to like shit on a supposed nihilism that comes from atheism. You guys literally get this principle that like the bar for death is so low from your fucking churches, from your pews. Literally, the price for sin is death. You guys literally believe everybody deserves death all the time in the first place. Death is an unfortunate part of life that we can't reject exists. However, it doesn't mean anybody deserves it without, I mean, extreme, maybe on extreme cases. And obviously, as I've said before, I'm not perfect in my humanism, but as a humanist, the hope should be that every terrible person, instead of dying, reforms. That your hope for a person should be that they reform instead of dying. Obviously, when a person has failed to reform, or the extremeness of their, we'll call it sins for their sake, are such that their path to reform seems unlikely, their tendency to repeat by, like, I don't know, causing the murders of many people, both foreign and domestic, one finds themselves going, I don't know how to not hope for this person to die. But generally, certainly on the level of execution, killing. This is why I'm against the death penalty. I'm against giving the government the power to decide which of its citizens to kill. And we actually do, when it comes to the court system, if you get there before a judge, even though some people still die, it is like a system where there's lots of appeals. It takes a long time. It should take longer, especially in some cases where clearly some unjust killing should have happened. And rather, it probably shouldn't exist at all. I'm against even that death penalty. And yet we're out here protecting people issuing the death penalty for non-violent people. And just even the way they have redefined the word violence, you locked your knees, you pushed back when they tried to slam you into the ground and hurt you. Right? Like that's what their definition of violence is now. You guys are absolutely you are clowns. You are ridiculous. You are caricatures of humans. And the only reason you feel this way is because your brain has been so rotted by your religion and social media that you don't even recognize any of this stuff is actually happening. This is just like content. You guys are just consuming content. On next season of Trump and ICE, fuck America. And it's once it shows up to your door, that's when people start to notice, like the Republican gubernatorial candidate who just dropped out of the race in Minnesota to be like, I can't run as a Republican and tell my daughter I'm running for governor as a Republican while she sees the Republicans are breaking into people's houses, claiming that their warrants issued by a member of their internal administration is enough to break in, fully violating the Constitution. It's fucking bleak and gross.
It is definitely bleak and gross. I mean, I do feel some hope in the little tiny spots of humanity, like that man who was going to run and pulled himself out of the race. It's kind of, those moments make me think, okay, there are some people who have some level of integrity and are like, I'm actually not okay with aligning with what's going on, but they're just so few and far between. Although, I mean, so what I saw this morning, and I didn't get to read very much else, was that the Senate blocked a bill that was supposed to help continue to fund ICE. What does that even, how does that really even help moving forward?
It's nobody, the idea isn't help. And this is what I've been saying, like on shows recently.
Hold on, someone just knocked on my door. Hold on.
The bastards. Republicans, let's just start telling the truth. Start telling the truth that the reason why you're okay with this isn't that you disagree that it's murder. It's that you're okay with murdering people that oppose you. You're okay with people not on your side being killed. You don't even want to see. You guys have literally been arguing against due process. And not only do you not want to see due process for immigrants, be so clear, you don't want to see due process for citizens if they're citizens you're opposed to. And that's what it is. Like, that's just start actually telling the truth that you're okay with the reason why what you actually, the only justification you have that it isn't murder is that you only consider murder the death of somebody you like. Right? So it's somebody you don't like. It's somebody who disagrees with you. So it can't be murder anymore. Be so real, Republicans. Like, that's actually what's going on.
Republicans, anyway, the party of Christians, as the party of purity and everything being traditional and whatever. Yeah. Now all of a sudden we're keeping score on what's murder and what's not.
Yeah, you guys are just fucking, I don't know. It's hard to have any hope in this whole world, except for that the boot eventually comes for you, and maybe enough people will get tired of the boot to overthrow it, to tear it down, to execute it judicially. I don't know, man. I don't know. We're probably not going to talk about it at length, but did you see that guy? I think he was running in Ohio, who is running for, is it a Congress seat? Anyway, his pitch is, I will seek a legal line that ends in the death penalty for Donald Trump, basically for treason. Yeah, that literally was like the way he was going.
Wow.
And guys, I just want to say that exists. We'll be right back.
Oh boy.
So, not today, but tomorrow, Saturday, is technically the last day you can buy any of the mugs from linemerch.com, linemerch.com, linemerch.com. That's the last day you can get a mug. But don't do it on the 30th. Do it on the 31st.
Yes. And they're really cute, so get them while you can.
They're cute.
They're cute. It's a fun way to support this show, all the other shows on the line.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So why not? Why not?
Cute. I'm hungry. All right. Do that. linemerch.com. Tomorrow. Not Friday. Saturday. Any day after Saturday. We are back. Nicki Minaj.
Hi.
Oh, all right, that's the show, everybody.
For the love of God.
For the love of Pete. Nicki Minaj.
I didn't think we were going to talk about Nicki Minaj today.
Well, we are, but let's do that after. Let's push her off. Let's show her that she doesn't matter to us. Yeah. The FBI executed a warrant Thursday for Fulton County's Election Operations Center. They're basically trying to now create a narrative, despite the fact that it has already been investigated multiple times. Now the FBI, as led by the obviously trustworthy Kash Patel, totally trustworthy, totally not, and totally
qualified.
The guy who told us that there is zero evidence that Jeffrey Epstein trafficked the hundreds to potentially thousands of women to anybody but himself. That guy who said that in a congressional testimony.
Right.
Meanwhile, Ghislaine Maxwell this last week actually said she is aware of, I think it was 29, basically sweetheart deals, cover-up deals, that settlements essentially that happened with rich friends of Jeffrey Epstein. So, anyway, that shit's going great. This is her trying to get... She's trying to get a habeas petition done. And so she's trying to be like, hey guys, this is what I'm doing.
Right.
Anyway, the they're basically going off, and it won't matter what they get there's roughly 700 boxes of ballots and records, which is all part of this thing where the federal government has been going state by state trying to force them to give them their voter records and give them their voter rolls. Not because they think there's any actual fraud there, but because they're going to continue to say there's fraud there even after they don't find any additional evidence. They're going to make up their evidence. This is a group of people who just lie. It's what they do. They lie and they lie and they lie. And they are showing it is a higher priority to them to get to the bottom of an election that wasn't stolen, which has already been investigated by previous administrations, already investigated by Bill Barr, already investigated by conservative states in their own state. The Georgia investigation happened under a conservative governor, a conservative secretary of state, people who voted for Trump. These are not people who wanted Biden to win. Anyway, that's a much higher priority than getting to the bottom of, the pedophile ring.
Right.
Yeah, you guys don't even get that if you're good. It's not even going to be as dessert.
This even being something that they're continuing to pursue is so, I'm trying to think of a more eloquent way to say it, but like, it's just fucking stupid because that term came and went. Who cares now? Who cares? Like the fact that this is still a conversation that they're willing to have is insane. We have so many other bigger priorities. I understand wanting to, like if they wanted to pursue this as a way to ensure that voting continues to be free and fair, but that's not the reason why Trump wants to do this. That's not the reason why. He wants to do this to fluff his own ego and to continue to make up that he won that election. For people who are Trump supporters, it will never not be shocking to me when they talk about him like he is this manly, confident, like exemplary, masculine, whatever. Like I'm like this man is so small. He's so small and so unable.
We're trying to not like participate in. We don't talk about people's genitals on air. What are you doing? Oh, his hands? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right,
tiny
you're
hands.
Right.
Tiny
itty bitty little hands. Baby
honestly,
hands, frankly.
Little feet too. He kind of looks like he could topple right on over.
Yeah, where is that balance coming from?
I think his center of gravity, I think, creates some sort of weird balance for him.
Michael Jackson doing that lean on the stages where he needed the nail that caught in his shoe. There's like a little bolt that he would catch on his shoe, and then he could lean like 60 degrees forward as part of a dance move and lean back. And Donald Trump, that's just how he stands.
Yeah, I know. He stands like this.
Yeah.
It's
Annie is not okay, not if she's an immigrant. I believe it was during the song Annie, Are You Okay? Sorry, I derailed you. Don't think about Trump's itty bitty witty.
Well, I wasn't, and now
itty bitty. Oh, I bet his dick is shitty.
Oh my God, it's
Did you see the Melania movie?
No.
You haven't booked tickets?
I do love that the theaters are empty.
If you're worried about getting tickets, don't you worry.
Don't you worry.
They're available.
They are
actually,
super
you know what?
available.
They might not be, though. That might be changing. Because if a movie does that poorly enough, they will prematurely pull it from the theater.
Yeah.
So in a way, your time to get tickets might be running up. But not because they're selling out, as Donald Trump claimed they were.
Melania movie.
Get your tickets. They are selling out fast.
Let's see. Well, South Africa canceled the release of the Melania movie.
Multiple premieres had 0 people attend.
Yeah, I mean, because why?
Why would anyone care to see it? Like literally even on their side. It is funny because I feel like MAGA knows they aren't like, MAGA doesn't like Melania. They just like what Trump likes.
I've said this before. Actually, I don't know if I've said it on this podcast, but I've said it before, like probably on Chewed Gum, that it's unfortunate when this presidency is over and everyone has been appropriately held accountable, I am looking forward to a time where we can reflect on the things that Melania did and Trump did that were like funny. Like Melania, first of all, being an immigrant, being what was probably like a paid to order bride, being a part of this whole administration is insane. Do you remember that when she wore that jacket, that trench coat that said "I don't care" on it, like on the back?
Yeah.
Like,
or it was
that,
like, "I don't care, do you?"
Yeah.
While touring the kids in cages.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
By the way, they're not even able to
Psychotic.
fake the good numbers. There are literally GOP-linked groups bulk buying tickets and then giving them away for free, and they're still not filling theaters.
That's so bad. But it's also, the movie is about like her first 20 days in office, right? Like it's not even.
I don't know.
Honestly, if it were
demand wasn't even high enough for me to check the review, the Google summary.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. If it were a documentary about like how she met Donald Trump, came to this country, what her journey, wasn't she a sex worker for a period of time?
I don't think that's confirmed.
Okay.
The scuttlebutt is that she basically was an Epstein girl and eventually transferred to
See,
Trump.
like that's the documentary I want to see. I want to know how the fuck she got here. And
so it's the 20 days
also,
leading up to Trump's inauguration.
Yeah.
All I remember is
who cares about that?
Hearing somewhere, probably on Reddit, just like, everybody is wanting to know, and so now we'll show them. Something along those lines where it's like, no, Melania, you don't get to say
one.
Somebody is fucking you up in your English language, in your lessons for English. Everyone you seem to have learned is the word for nobody.
Right.
Everybody was saying, everyone is wondering what it is about Melania. Do you remember a couple years ago, she wrote a book and then she started doing like a promo of it as though everybody was shaming her for being naked? Do you remember like that there were naked photos out of there? It's like, why is everyone talking about my naked photos? Like it's not a celebration of the female form. And it's literally like no one was talking about it. You have learned such Trumpian marketing tactics.
That's like one of my, sorry, I like spilled coffee on myself. That's one of my favorite things that people do when no one cares and no one's paying attention. And they're like, you guys, the amount of hate that I am getting. And it's like, that is so mortifying. She's like, I just wish people would stop talking about my naked body. It's like,
why suddenly did the left have a problem with the naked body?
Right. Wait, did you ever watch 30 Rock before?
Why is my impression kind of good? I didn't know that.
I know it is good. Have you watched 30 Rock?
Yeah,
okay.
Of course.
It's sort of Jenna Maroney coded. I wish everyone would stop talking about my naked body.
Everywhere I look.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
I can't do
so
her.
Fucking serious. It's just so crazy. But like it's unfortunate too because there are sometimes she has a look and it is kind of cunt, and I'm like, wow, I wish I could appreciate this, but unfortunately, you're a Nazi, so I can't.
Right.
But
well, she
I
obviously has access to whatever designer shit she wants. She's gonna look good, even if the dress cost, tens of $1,000s, but was still made by a sweatshop worker.
Right.
I don't care. Do you?
Well, and it's funny that she's doing all of this stuff because she so badly, I think, wants to rival Michelle Obama. Because like you didn't really hear very much from Jill Biden. Like that didn't really I'm sure she did
it's
stuff.
Hard to tell with Melania. It's some part of me thinks like she wants the money, but then other parts of me doesn't know whether she wants to ever be perceived greatly. I don't know. Why'd she do the documentary? The documentary was a bribe. The book was a bribe.
Yeah.
By the way, I've talked a lot of shit about what's his face from Amazon? Bald guy?
Bezos.
I've talked a lot about Bezos, okay?
Sure.
And talked a lot of shit about this, but what if, like, the way the dude could get so much street cred right now is all he would have to do. It probably doesn't exist. It would have to exist. But could you imagine if, like, a call with him leaked somewhere.
Mhm.
And it's him basically saying like, yeah, we give him this money. We get all of this goodwill. That movie's going to flop and embarrass them so bad. Like it's actually going to hurt them
plan.
in the end. But it
Yeah.
seems like if he schemed to have the most
Mm.
embarrassing documentary release of all time, obviously it doesn't exist, right? I'm not going to,
Yeah.
but wouldn't it just be so juicy
It would.
if he saw
would
it
just be-
coming? Chef's kiss.
I
Chef's
would love
kiss.
it.
Chef's kiss. God, I want one good conspiracy, not these dumb ones. Speaking of fucking dumb conspiracies, here's a actually transition for you. Have you seen the whole like Ilhan Omar on
Mhm.
Tuesday night, I believe
Mhm.
it was attacked
Yes.
by a man at a town hall who squirted her with what we now know a syringe full of apple cider vinegar. He is rushed by security and Ilhan. Ilhan pops a fit. Ilhan takes like 3 quick steps and pops. And look, I know what people are going to say. It's easier. And it's true. Like whether or not, if I was in that situation, would whether or not I rush the guy also be based on whether or not I see my security teams also rushing the guy? That could be the case, depending on the guy. But I don't care. It was still a
Whatever. I'm
badass
not
move.
trying to like. It was cool that she did that.
I wish she had popped him.
Me too. And it was cool that she did that because she could have seen her security team and just been like, okay, they got it. But she didn't. Instead, she was like,
Right. Imagine how
loved it.
emasculated you are if you are, I don't know, like a president who every time somebody just so much as like shouts wrong, Secret Service is dogpiled you. Because like, don't get me wrong. Obviously, they dogpiled him when the shooting happened about that shooter who we know nothing about still for some reason.
right.
Like,
Right.
I don't think it was
Right.
staged. I know a lot of people think it was staged, but why do we still know fucking nothing about that thing? Why do we know nothing? But Alex Pretti, I know like everything about already.
Right. I've
like,
heard from his parents.
he was a Virgo. No, I'm just kidding. I don't even know. I don't know. But yeah, nothing. But anyway, but like Donald Trump has been like dogpiled by his Secret Service like a bunch of times because somebody smelled a threat. Fucking like Ilhan Omar. And it's funny because he does the little run. Oh, let me get out of here. Let me get out of here. Until Donald Trump knows he is clear from danger, he acts like a little bitch. Like even in the event where he was shot at by that kid we know nothing about, the audio shows like they totally, it's clear, the shooter's down, it's clear, there's no more blah, blah, blah. Like they're saying that in his ear. So like this whole thing where people think he like got up bravely and stopped them, even though he didn't know if he was safe anymore to save, he actually literally did. They're having a conversation and he's sitting and going like, okay, but let me get my shoes. I need to keep these, I loosened them. They were loosey-goosey. They came off. I got to get my shoes on. Like the guys, you're telling me the guy didn't know he was safe, but a man who thought there might still be another shooter slowed everyone down so he could get his shoes back on. I think you run to the car in your socks at that point, guys.
Right. Yeah, I would say so.
Let me get my shoes. Okay, let me get them. And we're going to need somebody directly behind so we can say that's the guy who pooped his pants. One of the Secret Service people right behind me pooped his pants just in case anything comes falling out. Somehow he was so close his poop moved into my pants. That's why you see it falling out of the sleeve of my jeans. I doubt he was wearing jeans. I don't know if I've ever seen him in jeans. Donald Trump ever wear jeans?
No, I've only ever seen him in suits and like khakis for golfing.
Yeah. Anyway, the conspiracy. People are claiming the whole thing was staged and they are posting actual obvious AI slop of basically photos of this is how they think it would have gone. Ilhan Omar, this is how dumb they are. You think Ilhan Omar would have set this up with a man who has had a social media history for years of being a Trump cult member, sets all of that up, and then has this man attack her and then takes a picture with her afterwards holding the same Fiji water bottle for some reason, that because he was drinking from a Fiji water bottle in other pictures, and a handful of cash and smiling with her and the security guard. That's the photo they're going, oh, proof. I guarantee you, when we're recording this, we're recording on Thursday, I've got a show later. There's a non-zero chance that somebody calls in and is like, yeah, but that was staged. That was staged. Didn't you see? Or she posted a photo. There was a photo of her and the guy holding the cash she paid him to fake the attack. I'm like, you guys are fucking idiots.
So fucking stupid. Can we talk about the NRA?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Do it.
So I'm sure everyone has seen now Trump say that you can't have guns. You can't walk with guns. And a reporter said, what about the Second Amendment? And he said, you can't walk in with guns.
Right.
And
you can't. You just can't.
Yeah.
You have your rights, but those aren't to guns.
Which Kyle Rittenhouse, walking with a humongous gun, crossed state lines with a humongous gun, mind you.
Yeah.
And he's a hero.
Right.
My favorite thing has been seeing when Charlie Kirk will bring Kyle Rittenhouse on the stage and there's like confetti and fireworks.
Like
and they're like, let's bring
entrance.
out this national hero. And I'm like, you guys stand for fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Anyways, the NRA put out a statement that they want to investigate this whole situation because of the comments being made about the Second Amendment and Trump saying that you can't have guns. I think this is so interesting and I can't wait to see how this unfolds. Maybe nothing happens, but I'm so happy they said something.
It's funny too, because I was having people call in all the time and they were like, Democrats want to get rid of the Second Amendment. It's like, go ahead, give me the law that any Democrat proposed that they actually tried to pass and it failed, that was more significant gun restrictions than Donald Trump, who by executive order banned bump stocks in his first term. Donald Trump participated in the removing guns from like domestic violence the people accused of domestic violence, which I'm for, by the way. But it wasn't under, in fact, nothing significant happened under Biden. Under Obama, Obama didn't even try to renew restrictions on guns in like national parks and shit. So under Obama, you actually gained the right to carry your guns in more places. You lost 0 gun rights under Obama. You actually got more. It expanded. And so they always want to say this like, it's them, it's them, it's them. And Donald Trump has the record of obviously not actually being a Second Amendment guy. He just likes his supporters to be armed. He would like a framework. And listen, guys, be careful what you wish for, because if you give it to him and you ever lose power again, you will reap what you sow.
T.
Yeah, I posted on Threads. I was like, dude, I did not have MAGA starts repealing the Second Amendment on
I saw that this morning.
Any bingo card. Like, goodness sakes, you guys! It basically you have made the Second Amendment expire.
Yeah,
I'm sad because this guy who called in and he got a song from me for calling in.
Is it the one that I watched?
It might be. No, it's probably the newer one. Apparently right now is calling Jovan to complain. And I'm like, oh, damn
In this very moment is calling right now?
Yeah, and he's like, you should get
Takis?
on. And I was like, I can't. No, not Takis, Jovan's show.
Oh, Javon's show. I was going to say, why is Javon on Takis?
No. He's not.
I was like, are we breaking all the rules now? Anyway.
I do like that there are people, I won't call anybody out, but I built a web app, people. It was crazy. It's the first thing I've ever really built like that, where people can mark, basically we send a link to everybody and there's a calendar they have and they can just click which days they're available for which shows and stuff. And so we use that. It then converts into a spreadsheet that's color coded, all done automatically. It's this awesome shit. Anyway, I just have to like talk about how cool I am with that shit.
It is a very cool app. My one thing is I'm always scared that it didn't submit for some reason.
Which means that you haven't tried to see what happens if you try to submit a second time, because as soon as you select your name, if you've already submitted, it checks my database and will say you already sent this on this date.
It does?
Go look.
Like what if I try to do it right now?
Go look.
Okay.
Go look.
Feel like, okay.
Go try
Hold
and
on.
give your February availability again. Okay, so anyway, there are some people here who I love them to death. But as are in the instructions, it says, by the way, please only mark the availability for the shows that you are on. Because basically, when we do this, the way the whole thing's sorted out, we just end up with a lot of extra people that we don't necessarily need.
Oh, that's cool. It's at the bottom. I see it.
And so the deal is, guys, we have a lot of cisgender people marking that they're available for Takis. So then when I'm sorting and I'm trying to do Takis, I got a bunch of names on the list that I end up having to delete to be able to get back to it. And we have a lot of men
who go
say they're available for chewed gum because they're just clicking. They're just clicking the whole calendar. Yeah.
Should I be... This is an offline conversation, but should I be marking when I'm like available for like the Hang Up or the Sunday Show or something?
If you want, the Sunday Show's got a pretty packed group of people. Realistically,
the Sunday
you
Show
should be calling
those
me
are kind of like
like
the heavy hitters.
Jimmy,
The Sunday Show is like,
I want to get on Calling It Now is what you should be doing.
I'll be calling it now.
Oh man, that show it's the jam. Hi, gorgeous.
I haven't done it since the beginning of it, actually.
Yeah, right now we've got Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays are pretty like, we know it's basically Javon, Ari, and Lexander. However, there are gaps in all of that. And we have the other days. We're headed toward a 5-day-a-week thing. Like you could do it if you wanted.
That's crazy.
Just like tell me you want to, and then we'll do a thing or something. Hey, we should do another silent ad break.
Yeah, we should. And then do you want to talk about Chrissy Nome, Greg Bovino, their whole...
I think we mentioned it. Did we not mention it on the other show?
Did we?
Oh, we can. We'll I can't remember if it had already happened by then.
Okay, there's another funny thing that happened that I feel like we should talk about.
All right, let's talk about it. When we return, we'll talk about that. And everybody's going to get laid. Woo!
Everyone's going to get laid?
Everyone. If you're listening to the show, you're getting laid.
See, this is what happens when you're
unless you don't want
liberal. Yeah. Well,
That's right.
consensually.
Also, I'm not a liberal, so I don't know what that was.
All right, I know you're a leftist, blah, blah, blah.
This is what the liberals want. The world the liberals want. I don't really. It's almost an insult at this point. We'll be right back. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
It's a strike day, so we're just going to play the music.
Yeah.
Because we're not consuming. Tomorrow you can go to patreon.com/calltheline and sign up. But if you're watching this on the 30th,
do not.
You wait until tomorrow.
Wait until tomorrow. And if you wait until tomorrow, then you're waiting until the day of our next LineCon, which is exciting.
Yeah, go to LineCon. Yeah, be there for everybody, $15 and up. But that's a tomorrow thing to do.
That's a tomorrow thing.
Today is a filling the time. Patrons still aren't going to hear this ad.
Think about what you did. No, I'm kidding.
But we still got an ad. At least they're internal ads. But, we're not going to put any effort on a strike day.
No.
Okay, bye. By the way, that guy who did squirt Ilhan Omar has been charged. So
really? Already? Great.
Charges. Yeah.
That was fast.
Charges happen quick. It'll be a matter of incarceration or I have to imagine we're just talking. It was a squirt with some apple cider vinegar. Yeah. I imagine he's going to get probation. I don't think this is a go to prison kind of thing.
Right.
Unless he's a repeat offender, especially if he has a history of violence toward women. We'll see. And, he's MAGA. So what are the odds of that?
Speaking of charges and such, this is another thing that I didn't get to dig too much into, but did you see that Erica Kirk was trying to file for something regarding a speedy trial for Charlie Kirk's shooting? And apparently that is not really something that people who were not involved in the actual crime typically do. Like that's typically something that the person who committed the crime, their lawyer will file for whatever that is.
Right.
Why did she do that?
I believe she also thought that it should be, I think she tried to file a lot of stuff. Didn't she also try to make sure that it's going to be like a national event, that it's going to be broadcasted? She wants cameras in there. They're going to sell
so much merch. They're going to sell so much merch.
Yeah, I feel like, why don't you talk about the thing that leaked?
So Candace Owens, on her ongoing tirade against Erica Kirk, honestly, it's really entertaining for us. She found someone leaked the audio recording of a Zoom call 11 days after Charlie Kirk's shooting. It was the first internal Zoom call for Turning Point USA, where Erica was kind of like coming in as the new CEO, and somebody leaked that audio to Candace Owens, who then played it on her show.
Yeah.
And in this audio, you hear 11 days after her husband is shot, which 11 days after he's murdered. And then when did they do the funeral? Like a couple of days after. This had to be maybe a week after the funeral,
right.
Maybe less. And she's on this call talking about the merch sales, talking about how, I don't know, it just keeps going up and it's so exciting. And she says on the call, this is a really exciting time for us. It is not a person grieving. When I lost my grandmother, who was in her 80s, 11 days later, I was still I was still so upset. And that's a person who did the thing. That's what's meant to happen. Her husband was murdered in cold blood, and she's on this call giggling, laughing, talking about merch sales.
It's hard to devil's advocate this thing too, but even as if I ever begin to try, it just hits a point where it's like, the best thing you can do is look, people grieve weird. And that's true. Yeah. Everybody grieves different, but at some point there is a normalization that happens. And the problem is, she seems to have shown a pattern that began the day after, or was it 2 days after, when she's Instagram posting her dry humping his dead hand, starts 2 days later and seems to have not changed. And that was September 10th, people. That's 4 months ago, almost 5 now. That's a while ago. And she still seems to be have you ever watched the show I Think You Should Leave?
Yes, I
love that show. Tim Robinson. And there's this sketch in it where he invents the driving crooner, and it's these stick-ons you can put on your window. And if you're right by it, it looks like the guy's wearing a hat and smoking a cigar. So he'll do these silly hand gestures. And then he's like, I got to figure out how to make money on this. I really want to. And I'm like, that's Erica Kirk on everything related to Charlie. I got to figure out how to make money on this. I really want to. Yeah. And it's just, it is bizarre. It seems like, you know how there are people who will be like, in the face of all of that, it was terrible. It was devastating, but there were blessings that came out of it. Here is the way we've been able to. Exactly, she's just been he died, and she started twerking, and it was like, where's my blessings?
Literally. She says on the call that it has been a blessing that they had as many merch sales as she did, which she's talking about, we made $200,000 and it's just been exploding. So it's probably even more than that, which has been a blessing.
Wasn't it?
What the fuck are you talking about? I thought it was in the
millions of dollars. It wasn't 200,000.
Maybe it was 200,000 units. I remember 200,000. Maybe it was the units.
I feel like I remember a number of 120 million at some point.
I'm sure. You know what I had a moment as I was thinking about this in the timeline. So if this call was 11 days after he was shot, I remember it took a little while for them to get, a Super Bowl level performance of a funeral together. I think it was about a week, which means from the funeral of her husband to the day that this call happened was a couple of days.
Yep. She just is so upbeat. It's so weird.
An unexpected, which the other part of it too is you have to also think about, we watched this person get shot and it shook me. It shook people who don't care about Charlie Kirk because it was such a crazy event.
And it felt like a turning point. No pun intended.
Right. It was a huge turning point for where we're at politically and in the violence that we're willing to accept and not accept.
Right. So, they're killing people on the street and then going, why are you mad about this, but not the death of Charlie Kirk?
Right. Maybe because the state murdered Alex Pretti and
maybe
Renee
I'm
Good.
and maybe I'm just relieved that I don't have to listen to Charlie Kirk justify these deaths, which he
Right.
would have been doing too. Right.
Right. So,
Also, Charlie Kirk's murderer is in custody. So that's the
right.
difference. That's the difference,
Exactly.
guys. I don't know if you know about differences.
Right. And that's the thing that's been so frustrating about every time the right brings up any person who's been murdered by an illegal immigrant, which those people are held accountable, and that's the difference.
Yeah.
And now we have these people who are explicitly this was another thing that I really loved about the aftermath of the Alex Pretti shooting was after Renee Good got shot, JD Vance is on his little podium. And he's saying that ICE officers have complete immunity. After Alex Pretti gets shot, he goes back on that same podium, and a journalist asked him, "Okay, so you had said that there was going to be complete immunity for ICE officers. Like, how are you feeling about that now?" And he goes, "I never said that. That is not
Dude,
what I said at all."
The way they keep saying, "I never said that."
As if we don't have video. As if we don't literally have video.
Literally said, nobody is making the case that this was domestic terrorism. Like, literally, Kristi Noem described Alex Pretti as the definition of domestic terrorism.
Right. So on the note of Greg Bovino, who is now out skis, I was listening to some coverage of all of what's going on, and what I heard was Trump was in DC this week, where he normally would be in Florida. He was in DC this week because of the Melania premiere, because they were going to do a premiere in DC. So part of the reason why Greg Bovino's out, Kristi Noem is having like a stern talking to, is because he's actually physically around DC to hear the conversations and see what's going on in a way where he would not have had he been at Mar-a-Lago. So now he's hearing and seeing all of this, and now he's like getting embarrassed, rightfully so. I mean, he should feel more than embarrassed.
He's feeling embarrassed, but like he doesn't care. For the record, he's not embarrassed because citizens feel this way.
No,
it's people in his orbit are making him feel embarrassed. Where he's like, oh, by the way, the NRA called. Right? Like that's part of it too. Right. The NRA has called him and like, I'm sorry, do you remember when we made you the president?
Right. Exactly. So
somebody probably called Peter Thiel, and Peter Thiel made a call and was like, hey, I can have you killed, right?
You guys.
Because while I don't know for a fact, guys.
While I don't know for a fact.
Head tilt. We have to remember that there are people who only listen.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Jimmy just did like a very funny head tilt, though. That cracked me up.
I think we might. It's one of those things where it's like, I can't prove it, but I think every now and then Peter Thiel goes like, hey, first of all, Donald, I can just kill you whenever I want. That's like what I think Peter Thiel says. I do not.
He's like, hey, girl, regroup. Let's just
remember. And then now, do you have 30 minutes? Because I want to tell you about the Antichrist. Because I know about the Antichrist. Peter Thiel knows about the Antichrist. Peter Thiel
my God.
knows about the Antichrist.
So, what do we think is going to happen with Kristi Noem? Because I feel like it's not out of the realm of possibility that she will be removed. What do you think? Do you think she's going to have more time in the admin? I think she's like at least a third of the way out.
She has taken so much. So here's the thing is Trump values a shit taker. And Greg Bovino hasn't been out there taking shit. Greg Bovino's been out there trying to act like the hero out there in his little SS uniform. So I think that was easy for Trump to say, get this guy, he's taking the limelight off of me. Whereas somebody will throw a piece of shit and she won't just put her body in front of it.
She'll catch it with her mouth.
Open her mouth to receive the shit. Like those old radio hot where they just like shoot a bunch of hot dogs at people and see how many hot dogs. She does not miss a shit.
Yeah.
Gulps it down. Num, 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 num. Please, sir, can I have another? And so he values her in a different way. So she is either going to be impeached because, or enough Republicans are going to march up there and go, guy, if they say impeachment, we're going to go with it. So get rid of her. And so then they're going to Kristi Noem will have I've just learned that my father is going through a terrible medical incident.
Oh.
He fell down the stairs onto 9 cancers. And so I'm going to be stepping away to take care of my dear old dad. My dear old dad. And now she is signaling she hates Stephen Miller. Did you notice that?
No. What is she doing?
Basically blame Stephen Miller. She basically said, all along, I've only done what I was instructed to do.
Oh, yes. Yes, I did see this.
And she name dropped Stephen in it by Stephen. And I think by the administration and Stephen. She like throws Stephen right at it. And like, thank fucking Christ, the Stephen Miller has had so much goddamn plot armor. If this was a fiction film, it would be like setting up for him to be the final boss that Brad Pitt has to like Inglorious Bastard or something. By the way, people have got to stop setting him up. I don't know if you saw him complaining. He's like, I just find it very anti-Semitic that people would say that a Jew is a person who is Jewish, could be a white supremacist. And it's literally like, at
Stephen
that point,
Miller saying that?
Yeah, quiz him on the Torah.
Right.
Ask him his favorite passage from the Torah. Quiz him on, prove that because he's trying to say it's his Jewish faith, not his ethnicity, that it's his faith, like that he's being persecuted for Jewish faith, and trying to turn it around despite the fact that he is like Hitler 2.0 and his own family fucking hates him for this thing. Goebbels 2.0.
It's also like it's dishonest in many ways, but one of the ways is also that it's very clearly not like the white supremacy that we're witnessing now is not really anti-Semitic. It is more than anything. It's like
there's that too. There's both are happening.
There
right now.
is, but when we're talking about like the white supremacy that
of America, it's
not like not no one to make it sound like the main what's the word I'm looking for?
Antagonist? I don't know.
Yeah, is Jewish folks is
okay. So
like
the thing that you'll want to know, and we have to make this specification before somebody's like, bro, the people who hate the brown people think the brown people are here because the Jews put them here.
What?
Yeah. So you're just The thing is that you're not up to date on your anti-Semitism, which is
I'm not. Fill
wonderful.
Me in. I'm really happy that this is the first time I'm learning this. But what are you talking about?
It all still is. When you hear about like the white supremacists talking about the cabals and the great replacement theory, because that's the thing. Elon Musk is now a great replacement theory guy. Yeah. Charlie Kirk was all of Turning Point, all of Daily Wire. They're all. But fundamentally, the people who are at the center of that, which is why anytime you now see Ben Shapiro starting to push back a little bit when they do like too overtly of dumb things, when he starts to fight Candace Owens, it all becomes about, of course, now the Jew in him is getting like the Jews are making sure he's back in line. They all go straight to his Jewishness.
Wow.
So all of this, everything that you're seeing of like, it's not just that they hate the brown people. They hate the brown people. They think the brown people are stupid. They think they're skeevy and they're stealing shit. And then they think that Jews are controlling the world and bringing those brown people here to take the power away from the superior whites. So it does all come down to Jews. That's thing is that clearly, this very anti-Semitic conspiracy is also something Stephen Miller has accepted. Maybe he doesn't think the Jews are at the top, or maybe he does and thinks that they won't let him sit at their table because he's so, like, his answer to why he can't find the Jews who are running the world is him being used to being rejected. He's like, well, if they won't let me at their table, I'm going to get, I don't know. I don't know what his fucking deal is, but he's trying to act like it's his Jewish faith. I guarantee you that guy cannot quote Torah. I guarantee you that guy does not have a single. And then it would literally be like, hey, could you give us a Torah framework for your political, could you show us how the Torah, since you're hiding behind it, can you show us, could you link to us how your faith and the values you read in the Torah connect to your values and what you're doing right now?
I'd love to know how they do that.
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it happen. But I feel like at that point, Republicans who are now now get to decide what's anti-Semitic would be like. Actually, asking a Jew about their Jewishness is anti-Semitic. You can't ask me why I brought my service dog in here, and you can't ask me how Jewish I am. It is pretty much what it would come down to.
Karen, you can't just ask people why they're white.
You can't. I wish. Stephen Anderson. Oh God, that guy sucks too. Stephen Miller. Please apologize for being white.
He was.
I demand it.
He was left out of
everything.
Well, right. But he was left out of a meeting that Trump had with Kristi Noem this week, which is interesting. So I don't know. Things are shifting a little bit in the admin. I think that like the sheer embarrassment of what's happened this week is hitting Trump enough where he's like, maybe we shake some things up. So at least it looks like we're in control of all of this.
I imagine he was left out at Kirsty's request, and I think she gets to do that. I think that there is a signal that she hates him, as like, you know, every woman. But I think there's a signal that she blames him a lot, and I think she would have said to him, I need to talk to you. I need Stephen not to be there because I need to be able to say what I need to say there. He does love, this is a part of his management style. They've talked about it in his first White House and then all throughout his years of being in business. He loves pitting people against each other, basically getting them to talk shit about each other. And then when they're in the same room, being like, and you know, what do you think? She thinks you do blah, blah, blah. And he thinks you say do, 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 do. Like he's such a little like 7th grade bitch about that shit. Like just the cliche of, actually, Becky, Sarah said,
you think that she's your real friend, and I'm telling you because I am your real friend that she talks about you behind your back all the time.
That was a little too easy for you to slip into.
Well,
were you a bully?
No, very much the opposite. I won friendliest of my graduating class.
Aw, that's adorable.
Yeah, it was very friendly, kind of quiet, but friendly.
Aw, that's cute.
Yeah,
that's sweet.
Thanks.
Anyway, I imagine she requested it and was like,
she's probably,
I have gained 14 pounds in swallowed shit for you.
Yeah. Oh, you wanted to talk about Nicki Minaj. Do you want to do that in the bonus show?
No, I don't think I have time for the bonus show. Nicki Minaj is buying $1 million gold card. You know what was funny is I was having a dream last night where I was debating somebody, which sucks that that's in my dreams. And I was
crazy.
like, gee, why would you become... If you are a person of color and you're kind of an opportunist and you're kind of a shitty person, independent of being a person of color, but you know that the country hates people of color unless you like try to appeal to them and you think about, oh shit, I could get deported and they could use the fact that like I married a rapist as part of it. They could use the fact that my brother's a sexual predator as part of it.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I'm just sitting here going like, it's not hard to put together why the people in her life would have tried to push her toward this. And then I'm seeing her old post complaining about like Trump 1.0 and the kids in cages. And now she's like, I am here to write a song about killing all the immigrant defenders.
I mean, so Nicki Minaj is an interesting person. And if anyone is actually interested in like the Nicki Minaj story and how she ended up here and how it like actually kind of makes sense for her. Matt Bernstein did like a whole hour-long podcast on YouTube, and it is really like, I watched like half of it and then I was like, I think this is actually as much Nicki Minaj as I need to take in for a day.
Yeah, but give us the 15 seconds.
The highlights is that she was an immigrant to this country.
Yeah.
She also grew up in a really like poor household. So like she basically what it is she has spent her entire lifetime trying to placate to whoever is popular. So she's very susceptible to criticism. So there was a time, I think it was with Obama. someone, she tweeted about someone who was running and said something like, even like mostly neutral, but like a little bit derogatory. And they responded to her and she was like, oh no, I'm just kidding. And I'm sorry. And you seem like you're going to do a great job. And so she's whoever is in a powerful position is who she's going to placate to. And she's done it over and over and over again. And she's done it. I mean, that's how she got the audience that she did, that is like gay men. Like a lot of that is because she knew that was going to be something that was like, and I mean, I'm sure to some degree it's subconscious. I don't really think she's like an evil mastermind. I think that she is looking for relevance, and I think that she doesn't know how to do it anymore because
a chronic placater marrying a rapist kind of adds up.
Right. She's one of those people who kind of like stands for nothing. Yeah. And she also hasn't had her music take off in forever. When she came out with her first album, that was Pink Friday, she already had at that point done the Monster verse on Kanye's album. She did that before her. I mean, that's like part of the song too. No album out. Like Pink Friday hadn't even come out yet. So like her buzz and her success was huge right when she came out. And then after that, she sort of like kind of fizzled out. Like she continued to like come out with whatever. Basically, she is grasping at fucking straws to continue to be relevant, to continue to be likable. And I think that because...
And to get citizenship. Got a gold card, spent $1 million.
Sure, why not? And she also has had so many like public scuffles with people now. Like she had a whole thing with Cardi B. Cardi B is a person who is like pretty consistently left. Not pretty consistently left. And so I think that Nicki was reading the room enough to be like, okay, well, this side of the party is not really fucking with me right now. And so I'm going to lean in really, really hard the other way. And now here she is. But you know that like Donald Trump is not pleased that this like Black woman from Queens is like the best they got. Like there's no fucking way that he's happy about it.
I mean, he just had her on stage.
I know.
He loves the token.
His face behind her while she's talking, he looks just not super thrilled. In my
He might have been concentrating to not look down.
Or he might have been concentrating to not shit his pants.
It's true. Something to do with asses. Also could have been that. Was probably
something
the face.
to do with butts.
Could have been her ass, could have been his ass. Might have been both asses. Okay, guys? It's probably both asses. All right. Well,
ass on the mind.
That's the Nicki Minaj. If Trump's America got everything they wanted, even though you bought $1 million gold card, once they got rid of everybody who's here, quote unquote, illegally, it will be the legal brown people next.
Yeah.
Just so you know. It will be the reversing naturalization. It will be
Right. It already is. There are U.S. citizens who are in what's it called? Camps.
CCOT.
Yeah.
ICE detention.
Yes, detention.
I think the citizens have been returned, and the people who, but yes, they are constantly detained, stopped, asked for their papers. We're violating all kinds of constitutional rights up here. Hey, everybody, come back next time. Okay? And that was the show. So, sorry.
Bye. Sorry.
I have to